awards.
Perfect.
Then congratulations for your nomination
Thank
in
you very
the Deep
much.
House category.
Thank you very much.
It must be a special day for you, no?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice that they thought of us.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, really.
It was actually an honor, but we were like fighting just before, just to commemorate this. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So this year's theme is Plastic No More.
Yeah.
Can you say a few words about that?
You know, well, we've been throwing parties in the jungle in Mexico for like more than 10 years. Actually, we didn't do it for the last couple of years, but way before everybody was onto this plastic thing, we were like one of the first people to switch plastic cups for biodeggradables.
Yeah,
we're big supporters of this.
Okay.
It's the only way to go. It's a necessity which is unavoidable, and everybody must participate in this.
And I mean, we're glad that everybody's on board. Actually, it's kind of nice to see how one starts a small revolution, and then everybody gets on board. Because
I mean, no one's responsible for it, but
everybody
it's just a consciousness that everybody has to have. Like that.
And
there's no.
And I feel like it's happening all over the world right now. Like every kind of industry is adopting this no plastic mentality.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the thing is as well is like it has to not stop at plastics. You know, it's like plastic is the hot topic right now. But actually the problem is a lot more kind of dynamic than that, and you know, it's actually a mentality that we all have a global mentality on multiple subjects.
On consumption,
at the same time, capitalism, ironically, you know, and the way we consume, as you say. But let's start here with plastics.
It's good to start somewhere.
Let's start here. Absolutely, it's a really good way of bringing a bigger problem to the table.
I was actually looking at some of the artwork that we're having inside, and then there was a specific, piece of decoration that they had in there, and it was made out of plastic from the sea. And I think it's a good way to reuse it again, to just make like little decorative.
It just shows you can reuse it in
so many ways.
Exactly.
Well, regarding this theme and our own concept, we would like to ask you, what connection can you find between electronic music and nature?
Oh, so big.
I mean, we, for example, are beach DJs, and we've always looked at ourselves, and we've always portrayed is the wrong word. We've always thought of ourselves as playing our best when we're on a beach in front of 50 people, less 20 people, like just playing with nature. You know, it's for us, it's a kind of a very natural connection, and actually musically, you can hear the beach in our style. You know.
Yeah, it's true, and actually, our music makes much more sense when it's in a setting which is a natural setting, in a forest or on a beach. But it has to be outside. Like we feel a little bit constricted musically when we play in a club, although we do it very well anyway. Because
we don't like corners.
Yeah,
exactly. We don't
like
corners.
open spaces.
Better, right?
Exactly.
So when someone like earlier told us like, oh, there's going to be an interview where you're going to do like a 360 thing and talk about a connection about nature and electronic music, I was like, that's our topic. That's us. You're talking about us.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Is there a specific nature that you get inspired with? You talked about the beaches.
I mean, we like warm weather.
Exactly.
We do like warm weather.
I mean, we played in cold weather. We did this Igloo Fest in Montreal, and it was an very interesting experience. I think the thing to realize is that when music is played outside, it resonates. When it's played in a natural element, it resonates so much more with people. So
it's
people
transmitted in a different way, sonically as well. Yeah,
so
you receive it.
So it's not like it doesn't become like a draggy experience. It's not like in a club where everybody just go there to get high from the music, from the situation. Outside, everybody's more relaxed, and the DJ is more relaxed. You know, the DJ plays in a more experimental way, so it's not constricted by like, oh, I have to play hard all the time. You know, you can variate between styles and sounds, and so people feel that, and they make themselves more comfortable. So the party lasts longer. people feel like more at ease. So people meet each other much more easily than in a club. In a club, it's all about the DJ.
Yeah, everything's focused
It's
on
exactly. In a natural environment, the party is not just about the DJ. People go to places, they sit down, they have a drink, there's lights or whatever. So it becomes a more communal experience, which is not focused just on the music and the DJ, but on the party itself.
On the experience, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
with more components.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this is for us, you know, like we've always been based on that. You know, Anthony used to do this party called Teckni-B, which he mentioned before. It was all about that. You know, you go, you want to dance, you can dance. You go inside the temple, but outside there's so many million things that you can do. You can go and have the tarot cards read, and you can look at the art, and it's the
Yeah.
same
It was
concept.
like 10 years ago before
Exactly.
it became a kind of a fashionable thing to do. Well,
And it's
I
the
think
same-
it's always been around these things,
exactly. But we focus on more
Yeah.
than other people, and this is one of the things I miss here in Ibiza. It's like the outside parties, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
parties where you can, you know, stay outside, stay by the beach, and now everything is prohibited, you know, because there's certain laws in place, and I don't think this is good for Ibiza in the general terms, because as you can see, there's like some people leave the island because that's particular element is missing.
Yeah,
and you can do it in other places now.
Yeah, and you can do
That
another
element.
place. Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think, personally speaking, if Ibiza wants to get back some of the people that is lost, they should allow, with regulations, of course, and with all the laws put in place, they should allow outside parties.
Yeah.
You know, they should allow parties that where people feel more communal, and it's not just about buying a table for $50,000 or whatever. It's just being outside, dance, leave.
I think as well, when you're outside and you have a kind of a wider field of vision, you know, you tend to not litter as much naturally. I mean, I'm talking about a reasonable sized event, you know,
Yeah.
not a mega a rave or anything, but you tend to be more aware of your environment,
Yeah.
you know, and you tend to be more kind of like conscientious about yourself. When you're in a club, it's like you just feel like, okay, you can throw your cigarettes.
Yeah,
on the
because somebody's
floor,
going to clean it.
you
You
know,
know.
yeah, there's a guy behind you who's going to clean up those plastic cups. But
Yeah, if somebody can get me a meeting with the mayor, I have a lot of things to say.
Is there a specific place you like in here in Ibiza more than any other?
I mean, as a club itself, I like Heart a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Heart is good because it's a good sized venue. It gets good people inside. The sound
Came out
is
of a good concept.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yes,
multidisciplinary.
exactly,
Yeah.
and you know, like we like the people running it, and we like the parties that are happening there because they're very specifically cater to our style of music. You know.
And I liked Cova Santa
Yeah.
before this year, when it became like used by so many people. It became a different beast.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
whereas before it was like once a week, and it was like that was actually kind of unique, and it was the only outside.
Exactly.
thing
This
that was-
and then again this year they put the regulations in a way that the music is too low at one point, and it's like again, I think before 12 o'clock even the kids are up, so you can allow a little
Yeah.
bit more loud music.
But that's the nature of our industry, you know. Like we come along, we do loud things, and then the government will come along and try and
Yeah.
suppress
down.
you, and then you
exactly.
find your way
The
around.
essence,
And
yeah.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
the essence.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was not thinking about a natural place.
Oh, and
actually.
there's so many beautiful
I
places.
know,
Here.
I know.
Here, I want to say, but then I don't want everyone to know about them.
You want to keep it
Okay,
secret,
then.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll catch you.
I mean, okay then. So, what's it called? The Arcos del Cielo.
Yeah, because it is beautiful.
You don't know that one?
No.
No.
Nah. Arcos, or is it Puertas del Cielo? I
No,
can't remember. Yeah, basically it's like this. It's the opposite side to sunset. No, actually, no. Sunset's kind of there, and it's here. So you get these. You walk up the side of the cliffs for like a kilometer from your car, and there's nobody there, and there's just like 10 people spread out over 500 meters watching the light changing. You know.
We check it before.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really beautiful, really
Okay,
worth
yeah.
it. Cut that bit.
Amazing. Our own concept, Into the Wild, consists in producing videos of techno sets into nature
Yeah,
without audience.
that's cool.
So, if you had to do such a set, you two alone in nature, where would that be on
Right,
Earth?
because it's yellow.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
does
that
it do?
place,
Yeah,
yeah.
really?
So you can
Okay,
organize
so-
it. We'll play there for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, why
Yeah.
not?
Actually, it's a great idea because I mean, there's so many beautiful places, and music doesn't need an audience sometimes. You know, you can. And I think
Yeah.
it's a great concept. You know, people can express themselves very differently, especially DJs.
Yeah, it's very
where
different.
if you don't play for an audience and you play for a natural setting, I'm sure it will sound completely different. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great
It is.
great experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
for sure.
One last question. We know it's kind of difficult to behave 100% ecologically, like every day.
Yeah.
But is there small things, one or several, that you like to hang on to, that you like to do once in a while, or maybe on a daily basis, to be part of the ecological movement, maybe?
I always carry my rather sometimes not so useful wooden spoons and forks, and I always carry a
Okay.
flask, you know. I mean, you know what? I think actually my biggest issue, and I'm really looking for this hack. I think everyone's looking for this hack, is the fresh water hack. You know, like how, because like the water that they offer you sometimes in airports isn't that good for you. You know.
Yeah.
And you're forced to have this bottle, you know, of water. But sometimes there's some good places, sometimes not. But always go prepared. You know, if you can find a good water source, you know, don't use that over the plastic bottles. Always carry your own spoons and forks, and we also, you know, we do carbon offsetting as an automatic
Okay.
every month, just because you should. It's the least we can do. Actually, you know, like our industry. I mean, this is the thing about our industry. You know, is it's like it's all well and good that, you know, we run around preaching about you know, our stance on saving the planet, but we're actually the most fuel hungry, carbon hungry travelers there are. You know, so yeah. I mean, you know what? We try to stay conscious of that, and we're always trying to find ways to better that situation. Like for our riders, for example, you know, like we have to have hotels which have a green policy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's you know, there's things that you can do, but yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
There was this really funny article on Wonderground last week, and the text was like, guys who flies 50,000 miles a month, angry about his straw in its
Plastic straw. Exactly. Yeah. Our riders, you know, like, you know, only glass bottles, you know, in the DJ cabin. Like you do what you can, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have as a community, we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
You know, beyond. You know,
Well, actually, I got inspired by my dad this summer because I went to see my dad in Sicily. They live in Sicily, my parents, and my dad every morning goes on his plastic collection, and it's not like a ecologically conscious person. He just does it naturally.
he just doesn't want people making the beach dirty.
Yes,
He
exactly.
puts up signs
and he puts these little signs on the beach, which rhymes in a very funny way. And I'm like, Dad, how did you get this? And I was so inspired by it, and now I want to do the same. And he did it so beautifully and in a kind of childish way as well,
Yeah.
which I think is easy to do. You know, if you wake up in the morning, you're going on a walk on the beach, and we are in Barcelona. I live in Barcelona personally. You can easily take a bag with you and pull like little stuff.
Everyone should, yeah.
And-
It
and
should
it's
be
like
second nature.
And
you know.
you know, you have a walk, you see the sunrise, whatever, and then at the same time you clean the beach. So there's really many things that we can do, and they don't cost us so much time or effort. You know.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you very much. It was
course.
a pleasure to have that talk with
Absolutely.
you.
Likewise, yeah.
Absolutely.
Finger crossed for tonight.
And,
Okay.
and
So we
next
should
time we're
all
gonna have a
the
little
best.
fun here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right.
you so much.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you tonight.